Hello. After a recent viewer request, today we're going to be playing Bazooka Malukah, gunning down our enemies and bringing the rain with an unholy storm. As you can see, I'm not a competent prompt engineer, but this is the best I could do. Malukah is extremely difficult to high score with, so we're tryharding with the rest of the comp, playing Navalea and Laia, two extremely strong support characters, and of course Andrin. Usually the high score path is through Velcrath and Aquafall, but today we're going to shake things up and go through Feyborg and Ulamin. I will be playing the OTK style, but not truly min-maxing. So let's get into the divinations, the decks, the perks, and the pathing. For divinations, we rolled 8 in total, 5 fast and 3 basic. We took nothing for this first one, but for the second, we hit an incredible basic, taking an upgraded Innovate on Laia, an Unholy Storm on Malukah, and an upgraded Vigilance on Andrin. We took nothing for the third divination, and nothing again for the fourth. On the fifth, we took this upgraded Helping Hand on Navalea and a Corrupted Flash Heal on Malukah because it's a deck thinner. Then we took a Scroll of Speed, a Shadow Flame, and an upgraded Uproot, a Benediction, a Flash, and a Corrupted Sprint, and then finally rounding things out with a Helping Hand on Laia and a Flash on Malukah. Now let's head into Act 1 Town to go over the character setups. Here we are about to head out, and let's start with Andrin. If you've watched my videos before, you'll recognize this setup, but with a couple of nuances. Firstly, I usually play with 2 Vigilances for innate card draw, but we picked up this Corrupted Sprint in the divination, so instead we'll play 1 Vigilance and 1 Sprint. We're playing Trace as per usual for deck manipulation, and I couldn't quite afford the upgraded setup, so we'll be looking for a free card upgrade for this, but we could for the Scavenge. Andrin's job is to play Chant of Initiative on Navalea at minimum, as well as Expert Tracker, also on Navalea, if we can, to kick off the Inspire chain. If we have excess cards and energy, they'll be going into Uproot to apply Vulnerable to the enemies. After Andrin, Navalea will be going next, and her job is to speed up Laia and Malukah, and we're going to be doing that with Yellow Scroll of Speed and Blue Scroll of Speed, respectively, digging the blue one out the deck with an upgraded Innate Bookworm. We would like at least 1 Inspire on Laia, which we'll be doing through Helping Hand if possible, and then the rest of the Inspire and Energize from Transmission will be going to Malukah. If possible, we'd love to get off a Piercing Howl for Vulnerable on the enemies, as well as Sharpen on Malukah because we're going to be playing Sharp, increases shadow damage. Laia will be going after Navalea, and her job is simple, it's to buff Malukah. We'll be doing this with Inspire from Clarity, Helping Hand, and Delay Response, Energize from Delay Response and Innovate, as well as Bless from Benediction and Lay on Pause. We also have some Powerful from Inner Fire, as well as Sharp from Sharpen. As for Malukah, our clear is going to be Unholy Storm. We picked 1 up in a divination, we bought an additional 1 in town, changed them both to blue. Ideally we'll be preceding that with Inner Fire if we're short of Powerful, Malediction on the champion unit, and a Fade if we have the energy to stealth before we Unholy Storm. We'll mop up whatever's left with Bad Augury and Flash. If we don't quite have the energy, then we'll Fanaticism. We kept this Flash Heal because it's a deck thinner and it's free. And we're looking to upgrade the Shadow Flame. We won't really play it until we get it into the AoE version. And then before we get into perks, just a couple of things from an equipment standpoint. Number 1, we found a Quill. We bought this in town. And preferably we'd really like the Inspire to proc on Laia or Malukah, who go after Navalea. And then secondly, we found this Wall Banner on Laia, which would be great for powerful uptime on Malukah and reducing the need to put Inner Fire on Malukah. Okay, from a perk standpoint on Laia, we went full Golden Shards, as much speed as possible. Buffer, because we're playing Delay Response. We're going to be having Vulnerable maximum charges increased by 1. And because we're playing Sharp and potentially Grinding Wheel in the late game, we're running this. Then Elemental, we are doing full Powerful stacks because we'll be playing Divine Power in the mid to late game and Inner Fire in the early. We do Inspire draws too, which I very much like on the support characters. In the Mystical Tree, we had some perks left over. So we're going to be chipping in, making Dark charges do 35% more damage when they explode, which is going to help out Malukah's damage. Bless because of Lay on Pause, Benediction, and ultimately Divine Power when we get it in Act 2. And then just a little bit of extra healing here on Laia's perks. As for Navalea, full Golden Shards, we're playing Scroll of Speed, so we're perked fast. We're of course going down the speed tree. In the physical, in the early game we're playing Sharpen, so 1 Sharp, and Piercing Howl, so an additional vulnerable charge. We're pathing through Feyborg, as I mentioned, so I went all the way down the chill tree here for chill charges. This is for a few reasons. Number 1, when we get Freezing Ink, this is going to be great additional speed control to slow the enemies down. And number 2, I'm playing her Scourge this time, and so Scourge does damage based on chill. I don't know if it'll make a huge difference. I'm primarily playing this for the speed control. As I just mentioned, Inspire draws 2, fantastic on the support characters. And in the mystical tree, because I am going down the right hand side, we are going at all decay, +2 on the decay charges. Andrin's actually going to be chipping in to have decay reduce shadow damage, which is of course the damage that we'll be doing with Malukah. And so with Navalea, when we get to Fog Legacy, the plan is to proc this a couple of times and get a really good stack of decay to reduce the shadow resist, have Malukah do a lot more damage. As for Andrin, full golden shards, we're playing Chant of Initiative and we'll pick up the Forest Crown so we perk fast, we make him as speedy as possible. Because we're going through Feyborg, we'll be encountering a pet trainer, and the plan is to play Wolfie on Andrin, so I'm perking slow. We have Sight, Dispel Stealth for problematic units, and Mark for Wild Hunt, the level 2. We have Stealth, boosts all characters' damage by 25% per charge. This is going to help Malukah's Fade do a bit of extra damage here because we have the spare perks. And because we're playing Wolfie and Uproot, we do +1 vulnerable charges on Andrin. And lastly, I just touched on this. He had a few spare perks, so we're going to have Decay, reduce Shadow Resist by 8% per charge, and Navalea is going to be our Decay applier. And lastly, Malukah. She was quite perk intensive, so we did as much gold as we could with what we had left. And interestingly, we are going to have access to very, very good speed control very early on in Act 2, because we'll be hitting the pet trainer and getting upgraded Wolfie. So I felt like we were okay to sacrifice some speed. Once we get to the end of Act 2 and get Freezing Ink on Navalea as well, our speed control is going to be really, really strong. So I sacrificed a little bit of speed here. Unusually, this is pretty much the only time that I play this, but playing a card that costs 6, we refund an energy because our clear is Unholy Storm, which costs 6. I went for an evasion just in case we get an evasion armor to blank the damage of Fanaticism, which if you've seen my Nezglect video or other videos with healers, you'll know that I like this. I like to play Fanaticism. Because we're playing Fade, we go Stealth. Then in the physical tree, we're having Sharp, increased shadow damage. I mentioned Sharpen, it would be pretty strange to not have this perk. This perk is absolutely fundamental to playing Malukah carry. In the elemental tree, we have to have Powerful increase our damage by 10% per charge and lose all stacks at the end of the turn for the OTK. And then of course our damage is Shadow, and we're applying Dark, which is really good in the early game, pretty rough in the late game, but great in the early. And we might play Condemnation, so we're going to have Decay on Malukah as well, which will also reduce the shadow resist of our enemies by 8% because of the perk on Andrin. And then Bless increases our damage by 1.5% per charge, but no longer increases healing received. Okay, so I think that covers everything, and candidly, Malukah's very rough to high score with, and my high score tier list, she's going to be quite close to the bottom for carries. But this is a viewer request, and I'd like to show you how I did it. I did high score with every character as the carry, so we'll go through the strategies. We do need a little bit of luck with items, cards, and corruptors. Let's see if we can get it on this run. So let's flash up briefly the high score pathing. Okay, very good. We'll stop by the caravan. We can't afford anything because we have no gold, but we go here just for an extra node. And then I'll see you in Fight 1 to check if we can OTK. Okay, as per usual, we'll start with the Trace. Get rid of these, keep the setup, the Expert Track, and the Uproot. This is amazing, the Sprint. It saves us an energy from the Vigilance. We'd normally have a Vigilance, but the Sprint is free, which is excellent. We can stick these back. We'll chant Navalea to get her ahead of the Fire Imp, and we'll Expert Track her too. We can get rid of Vengeance, Punch, and Curse. We don't need Bookworm either, because we can see the blue scroll of speed on the top of the deck, so we don't need that. And we'll Trace Laia. I think here I'll get rid of the delay response, and we'll pass the turn. Now we're going to jump Malukah ahead, and where did the Inspire from the Quill proc? It procced on Andrin. Never mind. Hopefully it will proc on Laia and Malukah in our next fights. Piercing Howl, Sharpen to increase Shadow on Malukah, and the difference between getting Transmission and not is huge. So we'll Transmission Malukah. Now we know that she's going to be able to afford the Unholy Storm, and we have to put an Inspire on Laia for the draw 2 and pass the turn here. Okay, on Laia, I think I'm going to start with a Scry on myself. really would like Benediction here, so I think we get rid of all of this to make sure it's guaranteed to draw now, because we have 3 cards on the deck with Expected Prophecy. Okay, perfect. We can put back this Helping Hand. We innovate, sharpen, spend all of our energy, and Malukah is going to get 5 Inspire to draw 10 cards. So the chances of Unholy Storm in the top should be pretty good. And there it is. We actually got 2. So we will Malediction Dolly. And we're not quite at full powerful. We do have this War Banner on Laia, but we will need to Inner Fire to get ourselves up to 7 powerful. And because we have 7 energy, we'll Fade and Unholy Storm. That's a lot of damage. We didn't need to use our Fanaticism. And we do heal, even though Fanaticism does a lot of damage to us. We of course heal with Malukah's passive, so it's not as bad as other healer carries. So we'll finish off these 2. Excellent, nice fight 1. Don't think I'm going to take any of this, and we'll keep moving here. Okay, we just polished off the sheep. I didn't show the fight because it's very easy. Now we're heading into our first Corruptor fight, and oh my god, we spoke about luck. We're desperately looking for Divine Power on Laia in Act 2, but somehow we find a Corrupted 1 as the reward for our first Corruptor fight. This is huge, absolutely ginormous luck, and this will make things a lot smoother. So let's see if we can do it. Okay, without Vulnerable, this is going to be tough, but let's see if we can find a way. Now, here's the line. I've practiced this a little bit. We can finish this on turn 2 to get the Excellent, but that's not why we're here. We're here to OTK because it's funny. All right, we have 3 cards left in the deck, so we'll set up and we'll put these 2 back. So we're going to chant Navalea ahead of the Wolf. We'll trace Navalea, getting rid of Vengeance and Punch. Scavenge back the trace here. Replay that on Navalea. Getting rid of Curse of Torment this time. We'll Expert Tracker Laia, and we're going to get rid of Sharpen. We're going to get rid of Scry, Inner Fire, and Clarity, like this. It's going to turn. Okay, we'll dig the Scroll of Speed out the deck. We, of course, don't have the Inspire on Navalea this time, but I think it's going to be okay, as we draw into the Transmission. Fantastic. We'll Sharpen Malukah. And we already got the proc of Quill on Laia, so we don't need to Helping Hand Laia. We can Helping Hand Malukah instead. Pass the turn. All right, well, Expected Prophecy, really hoping to get these 2, and we got it. We'll Helping Hand here. Helping Hand, Detox, Delay, Innovate, and a bunch of Bless. We'll Scry Malukah. And I'm actually going to get rid of this Unholy Storm, Flash, Fanaticism, and Malediction, keeping just the Bad Augury, so we can keep drawing through the deck. Pass the turn to Malukah. Okay, can we do it? We'll draw the last card on the deck. We chain through the entire deck, as you can see here. I'm going to Inner Fire and Inner Fire again, because it actually gives a little bit of extra damage with Zeal. Damage done plus 3%, you can see there. We will Fade into an Unholy Storm. As a reminder, no Vulnerable, so this is really close. We will Bad Augury the Farmer, Bad Augury the Bacon, Bad Augury the Bacon, Flash Bacon, and Shadow Flame Wolf, and you can see he's going to flame out, so we'll pass the turn. Just nipped through. Very close. And now we get this unbelievable card on Laia, which should help our early game significantly, which is where we would otherwise struggle. So I'm not going to take anything here, and I'll see you in the next fight. Okay, and when I say next fight, I've skipped a couple. We're at the pre-Imp Corruptor fight, just before the Imp statue, and this is a horrific Corruptor. Noxious Parasites increases all their resistances, puts Hatch into our deck, which as you can see has already messed with us with Andrin, and we have to get this on turn 1 for an Excellent instead of a Great. So this is pretty brutal. Let's see if we can get through it. And I have a feeling that our Divine Power and double Unholy Storm might just be the things that get us there. So let's draw here. Okay, we have to put these back because we need Chant of Initiative on Navalea. We'll Expert Tracker Nav as usual. Going to be aggressive getting rid of the Bookworm, keeping everything else, and just hope that we draw into the Scroll of Speed. And I'm going to trace Malukah here, getting rid of Shadow Flame, Flash, Bad Augury, Inner Fire, keeping the Unholy Storm. And my game plan here is to actually get enough energy to Unholy Storm twice. So we'll start with Scroll of Speed and Malukah, and you can see we get the proc from Quill. That's great on Laia. And we'll Scroll of Speed Laia, Piercing Howl for Vulnerable. We can Helping Hand Malukah, Transmission Malukah instead of Laia, even though she has overchargeable Divine Power. We're really trying to get off two Unholy Storm. So we can Detox, Delay, Clarity, and Divine Power. Okay, perfect. We can pass the turn here. Okay, we're just about going to do it. So we'll start with the Malediction on Toasty at the back here. We'll throw out our Unholy Storm. We will Fanaticism ourselves for 52 damage, heal a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and Unholy Storm again, heal up to 33. We'll just finish off Wolfie. And I spoke about, look, you need a bit of luck. We were unlucky because the Corruptor there was horrendous, but we were very lucky with the Unholy Storm from the Divination, the second one, as well as the Divine Power from Laia. So lucked our way through that one. We'll take this Bookworm on Navalea, and I'll skip ahead to the Imp. Okay, and we've skipped to the pop-off turn of Malukah. We healed a little bit because we applied some Dark, so we're up to 38, and we'll heal ourselves up a bit more with Flash. Heal. We can Unholy Storm, and then we'll finish off the Imp with a couple of Bad Auguries here. And we're back to full. Don't think I'm going to take any of this. The Fanaticism's tempting, but we don't have any way to mitigate the damage. I don't know, I think maybe in hindsight should have taken this because Malukah can heal Laia up, but didn't take it, so we'll pass. We'll level up Andrin with Wild Hunt. We'll keep all the others at level 1. Malukah's level ups here are absolutely useless for us, for the OTK style. So we'll just stick with everyone at level 1. And here, I think we'll put this on Malukah, the potion, the Heat Surge. And this is actually not bad. The slippers on Navalea is kind of tempting. I think I'm going to take those, actually. And then we might not need to Chant of Initiative her every time, which is pretty cool on Andrin. So yeah, we'll do that. And then I'm going to skip Belfior's minions and jump straight into the Belfior fight with you. Okay, here we are against Belfi. It's a really tough one, and I'm going to go through the initial line that I played. So get rid of all these, keep Expert Tracker. We'll draw, we're going to draw into Wild Hunt here. We'll set up, playing a Scavenge back on our setup. Wish this was upgraded. And finish things off with a Hunter's Mark. With Expert Tracker Navalea, getting rid of all this stuff, keeping just the yellow Scroll of Speed. And I'm going to trace Laia, get rid of everything here, really desperately searching for overchargeable Divine Power. We got rid of Laia on pause because the 2 Bless is functionally the same on overchargeable Divine Power. Every 1 energy equates to 2 Bless. Didn't think I needed Laia on pause, so we'll get rid of that, pass the turn. We'll scroll Malukah and Laia with their speed respectively. Going to transmission Laia to give her the Inspire and make sure that overchargeable Divine Power got a lot of energy behind it, and we'll pass the turn. Okay, we don't have overchargeable Divine Power, so I'm going to scry myself. I'm going to get rid of these, I think, like this, and we'll draw. We'll put back Fortune Telling. So we can Detox, Delay, Helping Hand, and Helping Hand up to 5 Inspire. Divine Power. It's functionally the same as Sharp too. And we'll get rid of everything that's not Flash and pass the turn to Malukah. Okay, we'll start with the Malediction. Full Vulnerable, Full Dark. And what I'm going to do here is not play Unholy Storm. I'm going to actually launch out these Bad Auguries because his Shadow Resist is the lowest it can be right now. So now is a good time to Bad Augury. We can fade into Unholy Storm. And you can see we're just shy. We didn't quite turn one hit. But it's at this point that I'm reminded of, I'm not sure if any of you played these Magic the Gathering puzzles back in magazines in like the 90s. But I used to love these. And this format of Highscore OTK really reminds me of these. And for those of you that were born in the 2000s or after, magazine is kind of like an iPad, but on paper. So I would encourage you to try some of these puzzles. Really, really fun. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to try again. 2 health, not good enough. There must be a way, right, to OTK him. So let's try one more time. So this time we're going to trace again. We'll do exactly the same thing. We'll draw into our Wild Hunt. Scavenge it back. Same line as before. And get him to 21 mark. Expo Tracker Nav, just like before. But one small nuance this time. I'm actually going to leave the Lay on Pause on the top of Laia's deck. Get rid of everything else, but keep Lay, even though the Bless is the same. Now we'll scroll just like before. Going through the motions here. Okay. Now, we will actually scry ourselves getting rid of this stuff, keeping the clarity only. We'll draw. We'll put back the fortune telling. So we can still get Malukah up to full Inspire here. But this time I'm going to Lay on Pause Malukah. We'll Divine Power her again for the same amount. And we'll scry the exact same cards off the top of Malukah's deck. So exactly the same, except this time we have a little bit of zeal on Malukah. So what we can do is we can Malediction just like before. And now before I go ahead and Bad Augury again, I'm going to, even though we're at full powerful, if I Inner Fire, then from Zeal, we get 3% more damage because we have a little bit of burn on Malukah. If you remember, he was on 2 health before, so now it's the 59. The Bad Augury does 60. So we'll do this. Unfortunately, we do have to hurt ourselves a little bit with the Fanaticism, but you've seen we can full health recover through this in the subsequent fights. So now I can fade into the Unholy Storm just like before, heal ourselves up a little bit, and 73, and 73, we got it. Very satisfying figuring out that we needed the Zeal. The Zeal was the difference, 3% damage, and we were able to OTK him. So we won't take any of this. And as for the equipment here, look, I would really like to upgrade, get a Corrupted Slippers on Navalea, but that will actually put Navalea ahead of Andrin in the subsequent fights, which is going to be a huge disaster. So I'm going to take the Leather Boots on Laia to make her faster. I would love a Corrupted Slippers, but I can't do it right now because Nav would then go ahead of Andrin and our whole turn order would be completely disrupted. So I'm not going to do that. And I think for now, I'll take these leather gloves just for a bit of powerful redundancy. I know we have the Divine Power on Laia, but just in case we can't find it, leather gloves is good redundancy. And won't take anything on Andrin because I'll take the Forest Crown soon in the ring slot and head out here. And I'll see you shortly in the Dryad fight. Okay, and here we are against the Dryad. The setup is the same as Belfior, so I've skipped to Malukah's turn. We'll start with the Malediction. We'll Inner Fire ourselves for a bit of extra damage on Zeal, just like before. Don't think it will make a difference this time around, though. And because the Shadow Resist is being reduced with 23 Dark, now's the time to Bad Augury, while the Shadow Resist is low. And despite having 8 energy, we can actually afford this fade because we're going to refund back into the Unholy Storm and Shadow Flamer off. Not taking anything here, I don't think. We're still level 1 on 3 characters. We're holding the level ups because the cards are useless. At least from what we're trying to do. And despite this opal ring. I did find a gold ring. I also found this eldritch wand on the way. It's very nice. And I'm not going to take this opal ring because functionally the gold ring is already giving us +1 damage. I will take the Dryad Mask though for extra damage, as well as Forest Crown on Andrin. We'll move along here and ruin their banquet. Maybe we're the baddies. I don't know. I'm going to kill them before they can eat. See you in the fight. And then once again, in the spirit of expediency, we are skipping to Malukah's pop-off turn here. Going to Malediction. The slime is the most resistant. And we can Unholy Storm, of course. Bad Augury. Augury. And Shadow Flame to finish them off. And I'm showing this fight because we get a pretty nice reward, actually, on Nav here. This transmission and a setup on Andrin. I would normally take this fortune telling, but I actually have one already on Laia here. And so I don't think we need two blue fortune tellings. I do like playing one. And what we're going to do is keep moving forward here. We'll take this shop, of course. We're going to take this aquamarine on Laia because of overchargeable divine power. This energy can be funneled into that. I'll take the emerald necklace on Navalea to make her as quick as possible, and nothing on any of the other characters. And here I'm going to take the exotic equipment shop, and hopefully we get something good. See you in the fight. Alright, same story at Malukah's pop-off turn, and to be honest, this is how every hallway fight has gone. We've been absolutely obliterating everybody that we come across, just unholy storming them all down. And finishing things off with Shadow Flame mopping up and Bad Augury. No cards here, but maybe this shop will give us something tasty. Yes, it does. Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to change the way we play just a little bit, but we'll for sure be taking Dimensional Crystal to duplicate Unholy Storm. It's going to be incredible. Okay, I don't think we're taking anything else here, so let's go and fight Ylmir. Okay, here we are, and I'm going to get rid of these, keep setup, scavenge, expert tracker, draw and draw. We're going to chant of initiative Malukah so that we can be aggressive with expert tracker on the top of Navalea's deck, keeping just transmission and helping hand. We're going to hope to draw into the blue scroll of speed to speed up Laia. We're going to trace Laia, keeping these three: delay, helping hand, scavenge back the trace. Take a look at Malukah's deck, get rid of these. Passing turn. Okay, we can scroll. We found it. Sharpen. Transmission Laia. Helping hand Malukah a couple of times. Okay, let's see how we do here. Perfect. We found the divine power. We'll start with the detox delay. We'll get up to full inspire on Malukah without having to use the energy on fortune telling, and instead we can pump all that energy into overchargeable divine power. Look at that's insane. 14 bless on turn 1 in Act 1. That's what I was talking about. You have to get somewhat lucky here. And now bear in mind that the first spell is going to be duplicated. So if I flash heal, I don't want to duplicate that. If I malediction, I don't really want to duplicate that. So I want to duplicate Unholy Storm. So I'm going to lead with that to duplicate it. And then we'll malediction like this, proccing the dark explosion. Do another one. Perfect. And what we would have drawn into another flash, easily enough. Okay, so that's the hard part out of the way. Ooh, I like this Curse of Torment. I'm actually going to lean in on Scourge, and I want to upgrade this. We get a free upgrade. It's very expensive to upgrade, so we'll do that right now. We're still level 1 on most of the characters. We'll handle that shortly. Take those cards out. We can corrupt these leather boots on Laia. And this Morning Star's kind of interesting. I am planning to play Grinding Wheel but on Laia specifically, I'd rather corrupt the leather boots, to be honest. And I don't think we need anything else here. So I'll see you shortly in Act 2, where we're going to head to Feyborg. Okay, we're about to head out of Feyborg here in Act 2. And on Laia, we bought a bluff and a repair armor. We got rid of the inner fires and the benediction. We don't need that anymore because we obviously picked up the corrupted divine power in Act 1. On Navalea, we are speccing into a book package. So we have Scroll of Intellect that we bought, as well as a shifting scroll. We're going to be pulling Curse of Torment or Squall out of the deck, discarding it, and then getting it back for cheap with Cold Snap. The Squall was actually a reward in Act 1, and I'm keeping this around just in case we need the speed control from the chill on very, very fast units. We're slowed down ourselves, we incur chill in a lot of Feyborg. So playing this, I'll get rid of this later, playing it just in case we need the speed control. On Malukah, not much has changed. We have our 5 bad auguries. We'll be getting rid of this flash. We got rid of another one to just focus largely on shadow damage. I bought a Condemnation upgraded because the decay reduces shadow resist, and it's nice AoE damage. Otherwise, the deck is looking largely the same. We don't have evasion armor as a reminder for these fanaticisms. So the more blessed we get, this is going to start hurting us too much soon. So we'll see how long these last. I'm keeping them around speculating just in case, but these be on the chopping block if we don't get an evasion armor soon. And then on Andrin, the deck's looking very similar. We upgraded the uproot that we had to yellow, and I bought a captivating voice as well as an additional chant of initiative for speed control. This is just, again, in case we run into very, very fast units. I would like to be able to apply a lot of slow all at once. So that's the setup. We did buy Wolfie on Andrin, and that's because we're going to go ahead and corrupt it. I'm going to flash up the pathing here very briefly for Feyborg. I did go through this in detail in my Nesglect video, so if you'd like the ins and outs of the pathing, suggest you refer to that one. And here, this woman is sitting on piles of gold, so I'm not going to give any gold. And then the last time I gave the man gold, he was very, very unhappy that it wasn't more, so I'm going to leave them both and walk away, save our hard-earned money here. And we're going to train Wolfie. It's going to be incredible. Turn 1, slow, and vulnerable application on the enemies. So we'll come here. I guess we don't want this pulsing heal, so I guess we'll take a look at the shop. Probably not going to be able to afford anything. And let's see how we do with our Act 2 setup. Okay, upgraded Wolfie. Already doing amazing work here. Look at that, it's ridiculous. We'll get rid of these. I think we'll get rid of this adrenaline as well. We have 2 of them, so I'm fine to get rid of that. We'll draw. We actually don't need this adrenaline after all. We'll uproot, expert tracker Navalea. I think just like before, we'll be aggressive with the books, and I'll trace Laia, getting rid of all this stuff, just looking for divine power. And then we'll trace Malukah as well. Gonna get aggressive here too, getting rid of the Unholy Storm. We have 2 of them, so don't want them both clogging up the hand. Hopefully we can draw the second. Okay, I'm gonna draw off Quill, so I'd like to thin the deck. We'll draw this and just discard it. And there we go. Scroll of Speed so that we can jump Laia ahead. We'll Transmission, Scroll of Intellect. I think Sharpen's probably better than Curse of Torment here. Okay, Innovate. This should get Malukah up to full, yes, full Inspire. I don't think we need this Fade. We're not going to have the energy for it, probably. And then Funnel Divine Power. We're getting quite lucky, as I mentioned, with these turn 1. You know, we can finish on turn 2 for excellent in high scoring, but oh my god, our power level's pretty strong, relatively speaking, for a Malukah carry. We'll get our discount here, our refund, sorry, on Holy Storm. And I think I'm going to Malediction Monty and Condemnation. I think we'll draw a card here. We can Unholy Storm, then take Monty out just with a flash here. Perfect. As much as I love both these cards, we already have our upgraded Curse of Torment. We already have 2 setups on Andrin, so don't need a third. Dark Outbreak is touch and go. I don't think I'm going to take it. And this Divine Power would eat duality procs. So for now, I think I'm just going to keep the Corrupted one. Skip this. I think we don't have any Bless boost. So it's not Bless accretive. And as good as Fountain Pen would be on Navalea, we're eventually going to change to Freezing Ink at the end of the act. So this would be a waste of gold, even if we did have it. And gonna skip that, so can't afford it anyway. We'll remove a couple of cards here and see how we go. Straight to Malukah's pop-off turn. Same setup, you know the drill by now. We'll kick things off with our Unholy Storm. We can Malediction, Champion Unit, Condemnation, and then Unholy Storm again. That Dimensional Crystal, oh my god, is really, really helping us here. I don't think we need a third uproot because we already had Wolfie and we have 2 more uproots in hand, so I don't think I'm going to take this. Nothing here is interesting to me. Card remove. Don't think we need this. Keep going here. Don't need to go into the sewers either. We will take a free card upgrade though. And yeah, I'll definitely take that ahead of the shop. And same deal, skipping to Malukah's pop-off turn, you know the drill. And we're getting hard carried, as you can see, by our Dimensional Crystal. It's pretty nuts. We'll fade into another Unholy Storm. Finish him off. Don't need any of this, so keep moving forward here. And for our upgrade, for now we'll do the yellow bluff. I'll change this back to blue when we get level 4 for Heavenly Justice to proc Heavenly Justice, but for now it's fine. We'll do a Cold Snap, and on Malukah, these Fanaticisms, we're not really using them that much. We don't really need them because of the Dimensional Crystal, so I'm going to do a yellow fade instead, and Andrin maybe will do Chant of Initiative or something like that. So we'll come across the top here. We will take the money, sell the Moonstone. We level up, and what's quite cool is we have Navalea event here. So here we risk all of the characters suffering from an injury. There's no combination of level up shuffles that will achieve this result for me, so I'm just gonna endure the injury and take it on Navalea only. We failed. I tried every combination, went back and saved the game, and we'll head in here. I'm going to level up Malukah, Jinx, and Laia, Warrior Duality. For now, I keep Nav and Andrin unleveled because I don't need the energy. Maybe we need a deck shuffle. And here, I'll take another free card upgrade. And once again, skipping to the pop-off turn. We're doing so much damage now because Laia has Duality. She can pump a lot more Bless onto Malukah with a lot of consistency. So as always, we'll Unholy Storm, and then we can afford this Condemnation. And I think, yeah, that just does it. We didn't even need Dimensional Crystal this time. So again, we're going to skip all of this. Don't need any of that. We'll upgrade this Repair Armor, make it 0. And the only reason I'm playing this right now is in case we run into Thorn's Proliferation. And so I'll keep this for now. Once we get Heavenly Justice at level 4, we don't need Repair Armor anymore. I'll upgrade the Shifting Scroll here, because that was always the plan to upgrade that. Malukah, I guess we'll do a Fanaticism. If we find an Evasion Armor, we'll keep these. If we don't, we'll get rid of them. Bad Augury is really cheap to upgrade, so I don't want to waste the free upgrade on Bad Augury. And then on Andrin, I guess we'll do an Adrenaline. It's not going to make a huge difference. We'll come across here and we'll sacrifice jewelry on Malukah, I think. We do want this slime because I'm going to be playing Freezing Ink on Navalea in the late game. It's going to apply a lot of chill because we perked chill on Navalea. So instead of putting this slime on Navalea herself, I think it's actually more chill. It's better to put this on Laia so that Laia can then multiply the chill that Nav applies by 0.3. So that's going to go on Laia here, counterintuitively. We'll come across And I like the resources here, so let's see how we do. Okay, this is a tough one. As you can see from the Wolfie proc, they're immune to Slaw. And Squirrel's very quick. The Fiend is very quick. Quicker than Navalea right now. And Malukah is very slow. So we're going to be finding as many Chanto initiatives as we possibly can to help boost the team up. And this is a nice little demonstration. We'll put Captivating Voice back. So I do need to chant Navalea, as you can see. And I also need to chant at least Malukah. We're still quite far behind, so we'll expert tracker Nav. And I think, yeah, we'll get rid of everything that's not shifting scroll, cold snap, and transmission. We'll trace Laia. I think getting rid of these is fine. We'll keep expected for now. We'll pull back a trace Malukah. And we'll keep the bad auguries for now. Keep digging into the deck. So let's pass to Navalea, and this is pretty cool. So this is we picked up the Squall, if you remember, in Act 1. I'm going to discard it, and unfortunately drawing into cold feet. We'll pull it back, and oh, this is awesome. So we're going to scroll with speed. So Laia's now ahead. Laia's ahead, but Malukah is like 3 behind. So if we squall like this, okay, we have a little bit of cold. We'll transmission Laia, scroll of intellect Malukah, and I can Curse of Torment the squirrel here. So now down to 21. We'll pass to Laia. And there we go. The splash from the blob puts Malukah ahead. So that keeping the squall. Oh my god, it turned out really nicely. We could still win this fight, but it was just very nice to be able to OTK like that. I thought it was really cool line. So awesome. We'll put this back. We can helping hand like this. Look at these discounts on Divine Power. God, it's so crazy. There are people that aren't sure if Laia's good. It's like, she's so good. Oh my god. Okay, so we'll Divine Power up to 18 Bless. Now that we're fully ahead, we can Unholy Storm. And yeah, gonna be A-okay here. Fade. Hey! Oh, awesome. Love finding those little lines like that. Don't think we're going to take anything here. And what I'll do is I'll skip this next fight, because it's pretty straightforward, and then I'll see you against the Rat King over here. Here we are against Raton, the Mob King. Believe it or not, I'm quarter Italian myself, but I'll spare you my Mafia Mob impression on this video, maybe the next one. We'll get rid of Captivating Voice here, and we'll start drawing. And we'll proc Wild Hand. We're hoping this procs a lot on Raton. Yeah, we're getting a couple of hits at least. That's good. Look at this. Crazy stuff. Okay, well, Adrenaline, Uproot, yes, very nice. Getting good procs on him. We'll expert tracker Nav. I think getting rid of 1 Bookworm, Squall, and yeah, I think that's probably fine like this. Let's do it like that. And then we'll trace Laia, and I think we can get rid of these for now. Passing the turn. So for Nav, we'll start with the Bookworm, get our Scroll of Speed here, and we'll Shifting Scroll the Curse of Torment into the discard pile, pull it back out with Cold Snap. And this is pretty cool. We're going to Transmission Malukah, we'll Scroll of Speed, and the Quill procced on Laia, so I didn't need to put any Inspire on Laia. And then we can reduce his resistances. We're going to put 8 Scourge on him. So look now, minus 16, minus 40% from Scourge. That's really, really strong. So he started at 60, and now he's down to minus 16. So that's fantastic. We'll draw. We can helping hand, and take a look on the top. Get rid of those, I think. And then look again. Get rid of fanaticism. Hoping to draw into the second Unholy Storm. We'll put 16 Bless on Malukah. Okay, and we'll duplicate the Unholy Storm as per usual. Oh my god, we just did 500 damage-ish to him. We'll Malediction. I guess we'll draw, why not? And Condemnation. And yeah, we have more than enough. We'll Bad Augury. Yeah, that alone does it. Crazy, crazy. Scourge is really going to help us out. A lot of bosses have resistance to Shadow, of course, Arc on the final boss. So we're going to use Scourge to really lower their resistances a lot. We won't take any of that, and you can see I still held Andrin's level up. I'll fix that shortly. Okay, so here, what are we going to do? I think we're not going to take anything on Laia. We'll take the Frozen Heirloom on Navalea because we are going to go Freezing Ink, and this just increases our chill charges. Aquamarine's fantastic. I'll take that on Malukah. And Black Deck is really good. This helps the Dark Explosions explode at 30, which I like. And I'm actually going to take this just as a support item, not on Malukah herself, but on Andrin. And we're playing spells in the form of Chant of Initiative. So if we do need the Cursed card, we can take it, but this is just more of a support item. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is actually skip this fight. It was really trivial, and we'll go straight ahead to the boss fight. Okay, we're in Feyborg against Feyborg. So let's see how we do here. Get rid of this captivating voice and the chant. Draw. And this is great, having Wild Hunt at the top. Should be able to proc this a lot of times. We have multiple setups. We can, of course, get back our setups as well. Yeah, we'll put this last one back. And we'll Expert Tracker Navalea. Get rid of this Piercing How. We already have really good vulnerable application, so don't need that. And then we'll trace Laia, I think. Getting rid of everything that's not bluff. Okay. Okay, we'll pull a couple of books out the deck with Bookworm. And we'll get Squall out too, put it in the discard pile within the deck. We'll do our Scroll of Speeds. We'll put Helping Hand on Malukah. The proc from Quill went on Laia, which is nice. So we don't need to put any Inspire on Laia. Put all this on Malukah. And we'll put some Scourge. So the Shadow Resist again is now down to minus 12% so far. Okay, Bluff. Expected. Back Sharpen, I think, is fine. We'll proc Duality a few times with our Warrior cards to discount Divine Power here. And once again, huge Divine Power, absolutely monstrous. 18 Bless. I think we get rid of these two. I think get rid of the Shadow Flame too. It's kind of underwhelmed me. Shadow Flame, I think I'll take it out soon. It removes the Dark before it deals the shadow damage. So when it says deal 68, it actually deals less because the Dark comes off first, apparently, which is kind of strange. Okay, so we will, of course, Unholy Storm for Dimensional Crystal proc. Oh my god, we already half health him. And Malediction. And yeah, look, I mean, we can probably just fade into another one. Yep, we got there. Hitting really hard now with we hit level 3. Oh my god. Okay. I guess we'll take a Corrupted Demonic Tutor. Fine. For our Unholy Storm. It's gonna be amazing. Fine, we'll take a Corrupted Freezing Ink too. I don't think we need this. Maybe Ninja Scroll. Nah, I'm not going to take any of the gold. We're going to spend so much gold in the next act. So we'll have this corrupted freezing ink. It's going to be amazing on Nav for speed control. Definitely will take this Aquamarine on Malukah. And sure, why not? Warrior Code. We have Wolfie, we have Uproot, so let's take that too. And then we're going to head into Ulamin for Act 3. See you there. Okay, so the pathing is quite difficult to explain in-game, so we'll use this graphic instead. And as a reminder, I use the seed checker website and re-roll seeds until I get the pathing that I want. I go over how to do this in my Highscore primer video. So for Ulamin, as you can see, we head down and up, upgrading the pet. We'll head across, we will meet Binks, but not take the ladder. We're coming across and we absolutely need the Rift, because we'll be taking the Rift down here where we take a Corruptor fight and then go into the Great Pyramid. In the Great Pyramid, we can either go right or straight ahead. It doesn't make a huge difference. But for our run, we have Navalea in the team, and at Bastet's statue here at the Pyramid 2, we can corrupt cards in our characters' decks for 300 shards each, which is great. We head up and across. Typically for a high score run, if you're going through Ulamin, you fail the riddle and fight Bastet. I have PTSD from fighting Bastet recently, if you've seen my Bastet one-shot video. So I'm actually going to skip Bastet this time. We pop out here, take a Corruptor fight, and then fight the boss, where we'll head into Act 4. So that's the Act 3 pathing, and I'll see you in town. We're about to head out of Act 3 town, and we're low on gold, so the deck's a little bit larger than I would typically like. On Laia, we have our bluff that will eventually proc Heavenly Justice once we hit level 4 for a Purge 2. In the meantime, if we come up against Thorn's Proliferation, we'll be using this Repair Armor for Reinforce on Malukah. Malukah does, of course, have self-heal with her Dark application as well, so we're somewhat protected from Thorn's Proliferation. We bought this Grinding Wheel to buff Malukah with Repeat Sharp. Now, it's very expensive to upgrade, so we'll either be looking for a free upgrade, or potentially we could corrupt this at Bastet's statue with Navalea's interaction there. On Laia, we also have this Sharpen. We'll be looking to get rid of this at the earliest opportunity. Like I said, we just don't have enough gold to get rid of the cards down to 15. On Navalea, we bought this Battle Plan and a Book of Nightmares, and like I said, at Bastet's statue, she has an interaction there where you can corrupt cards, so we will be looking to corrupt this Book of Nightmares at Bastet's statue. Note that it costs around 300 shards, I think, per card to do that, so that's why we're not spending all of our shards here. We're trying to hold a little bit back to corrupt as many cards as possible. You can do up to 3 per character at Bastet's statue. Then we also have Shifting Scroll, which we'll be using to grab Curse of Torment, put it in the discard pile, and fetch it back for free with Cold Snap. We can overcharge Curse of Torment, which will allow us to put a lot of Scourge onto the enemies with Defiled Legacy, which says for every energy used, apply that much Scourge to all enemy monsters, and this is going to reduce their resistances. There are a lot of shadow-resistant enemies in this act, so the Scourge is going to be really helpful to make them susceptible to Malukah's damage. For the additional speed control that we got from Squall, we no longer need that because we of course have the Freezing Ink, so we can apply a lot of chill in addition to the slow that we'll be getting from Wolfie on Andrin. Speaking of Andrin, here's his deck. It's largely the same, except we swapped a Vigilance out for a Corrupted Sprint. How did we get a Corrupted Sprint? Well, the reason we have little gold is I tested a Divination on entry to the town, a basic one, just to see what we got. And I'm going to switch screens here by alt-tabbing, and you can see, I was just looking around, did we get anything good from a basic Divination? And we got this Corrupted Sprint on Andrin, so thought why not take that, as well as an Expected Prophecy on Malukah, which I'll touch on shortly. So this was an incredible pickup. You see I had 2,700 gold, and we did one basic Divination to get these Corrupted Sprint here. And then on Malukah, we have our 5 Bad Auguries, our Corrupted Demonic Tutor. This Condemnation upgraded is going to be good resist reduction for the decay, just in case we need it from Malukah. We have this Flash, which we're looking to get rid of. Like I said, we're low on gold, and so we'll be looking for a card remove to get rid of that. And then I bought these 2 Expected Prophecies on Malukah, because as I said, we're looking to corrupt cards from Bastet's statue, and Expected Prophecy goes to be absolutely incredible when it's corrupted. You draw 4, you put 1 back. It's just so ridiculous when it's corrupted. So I'm going to be looking to upgrade, or corrupt, sorry, Expected Prophecy on Malukah. and Laia as well. I just think it's the best card in the game, or one of the best cards in the game when it's corrupted. Oh, I should also mention it's free. It's a zero cost draw 4. Put one back. It's like a better ancestral recall. Crazy. Then from an equipment standpoint, we bought this endless bag on Laia, which will reduce our chances of fizzling. On Malukah, we have Rifty, the pet. And then on Navalea, I bought Chompy. And that's because we're going to get a free pet upgrade shortly. We, of course, already have our upgraded Wolfie on Andrin. And so I thought probably the next best candidate, and it's very gold efficient, was to get Chompy. And this will allow us to draw an extra card on our first turn with Navalea once we upgrade it. Or it's a better candidate than Rifty, just the free card on Navalea. So I think that covers everything. Let's head out here, and we'll head to our first fight against heavy weaponry, and we'll take the resources here instead of the barrage, and let's see if we can tackle it. Okay, I'll start with the trace. We can get rid of these. This looks fine. Chant up Navalea. Expert tracker Navalea. We don't need the shifting scroll for now. And then I don't think we need the scroll of speed either just yet. Or the piercing hell, because they're all immune to vulnerable and they're already slow. We'll chuck a few of these out. Keep drawing. Okay, we'll keep drawing. Like I said, no vulnerable. Might as well wild hunt. Oh, it's not really going to do anything. We'll trace Laia. Don't need these. Yeah, we'll keep the rest. And we'll scavenge back the trace. Take a look at the top of Malukah's deck too. Shadow Flame, like I said, I've been underwhelmed by this. Maybe we'll throw away a few bad auguries. Maybe just one's fine. Okay, let's get some books out. Battle plan's fine. Alright, so we will just speed up Laia just because, and we'll draw a little bit here. Okay, this is perfect. Like I said, we don't need these for now. So we'll put Helping Hand on Malukah. We'll transmission Laia. And you can see just how much speed control we're getting because not only we have this freezing ink, but now the blob is going to multiply the chill, putting Malukah at base speed ahead of the Raider, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I don't want to proc Grinding Wheel discount on Warrior Duality, so I'm actually going to draw first. Perfect, perfect. We'll put Grinding Wheel back so it doesn't receive the discount. We can detox delay. Helping Hand. Helping Hand. Get our discounts. Innovate. Alright, let's take a look on top. That's fine, we'll get rid of all that, and this should be more than enough. Let's see how we do. Okay, we will be using our Demonic Tutor, Corrupted, to get an Unholy Storm out the deck. And we'll get our Dimensional Crystal discount with the Unholy Storm. Then we can Condemnation, Unholy Storm again, Unholy Storm again, and finish off the Intruder. Excellent. Here, I'm not going to take anything for the bottom three. I'll take a Demonic Tutor and hope for an upgrade, or we can corrupt it at Bastet Statue on Laia. It's pretty good. It gives us potentially more discount on Divine Power, so I'll take this. We'll come up here, and I don't know. I don't think it makes a huge difference. I'll do this one, and then we'll upgrade our pet, Chompy, for an extra card, and take a Thorn Proliferation. So let's see how we go here. In the spirit of time, I've skipped ahead to Malukah's pop-off turn. We did get off an uproot with Andrin, but you can see there's still a lot of thorns between then after Navalea and Laia's turn. What I'm going to do here is actually draw with the expected prophecy and put back an Unholy Storm on a Fanaticism just to make it cheaper when I pull it out with Demonic Tutor. We'll Unholy and just fade into Unholy again. And we're still full health because Malukah has the heal from her passive, so no issues there. We will take this battle plan, even though we have one on Navalea. It's already upgraded, so we can use our free upgrade on something else. And we'll probably ditch, I don't need two, so I'll probably ditch this one that we bought. Bit of a waste of shards in town, unfortunately. So for the upgrade, amazing. We'll put it on Demonic Tutor that we just got on Laia. For Navalea, we'll do it on the Scroll of Intellect, changing it to a yellow one so we can draw a card. Malukah, I'll upgrade. We'll corrupt the expected prophecies, but I'll upgrade it for now just for a bit of extra reach into the deck. The bad auguries, we can upgrade those later for cheap. And then Andrin, yeah, we'll just do an adrenaline. All right. Binks has nothing to offer us, so we'll keep moving here. I don't play Ulamin a lot, so as you can tell, I'm not really familiar with a lot of these nodes. I've played a little bit, but typically I high score the game. I don't come through Ulamin a lot. So we'll do this. I think I failed this. Yeah, fail it. Still get 112 XP out of I can't remember what it does. And then we'll come over here and we'll take the Fight of the Rift. Okay, and we're at Malukah's pop-off turn again, just in the spirit of time. And you know the drill. We'll Unholy Storm. We'll Demonic Tutor out Condemnation from our deck. Buy some resist reduction. Finish him off with Bad Augury. Okay, for the rewards, I'm not going to take anything on Andrin, Malukah, or Navalea. This Blood Rage, though, is very interesting. The HP loss is not that bad because Malukah has inbuilt heal because of her passive. So this Blood Rage, there's a nice pickup on Laia. And then for the equipment, oh, this is nice. So the Frozen Heirloom, we did like the chill from this, but we really don't need it, to be honest. Instead, we can Dimensional Crystal on Navalea. And what that will allow us to do is double Curse of Torment. Once we hit level 4, we can Defiled Legacy, and this applies to 2 spells for each energy used. So we could play, we do have to spend energy, so we could play a Curse of Torment for 1 energy, proc it, and then again, for many energy, proc it a second time. And once Unholy Blight is up in the late game, Scourge will stack on enemies, so we could play it twice, proc Defiled Legacy twice, and this Dimensional Crystal is a really nice pickup here. We won't take anything else, and we'll head down and take another Thorn Proliferation for a free upgrade. And once again, we're in cruise control, so I'm just rolling into Malukah's pop-off turn. I will say, without the Dimensional Crystal, it becomes slightly more complicated to OTK in Act 3. But to be honest, we could just roll into turn 2 anyway, still get the Excellent, and leave an enemy or 2 alive if we didn't have the Dimensional Crystal. Obviously, Dimensional Crystal just makes it trivial, so it is a consideration. Usually we're picking up, look how much we heal through the thorns. That's pretty nuts. But yeah, we're generally pretty safe. Dimensional Crystal or no, obviously Dimensional Crystal helps a lot. Not taking any of this, I don't think. And for our upgrade, I'll do the Grinding Wheel just in case we don't corrupt it and we choose not to at the statue. Navalea, might as well do this second battle plan for now. You'll probably take one out. Malukah, again, just for the consistency, we'll do the Expected Prophecy, even though we're going to corrupt these shortly. And then Andrin will do the Captivating Voice. And we level up. This is going to be amazing. So I think for now, we'll do Cheap Tricks Won't Stop Me. So we avoid any curses coming into the pyramid. And we'll do this card reward for removing cards against Armageddon. And so for that reason, we'll put Riposte in the deck. And we'll put probably Love Enhancer. We don't want Vaccine in Malukah's deck. And we're going to use this card reward to get rid of both of those. I don't know if I need to upgrade either of these two right now, so I'm just going to hold this. It is a free shuffle if we need it. We're very, very strong, so I don't need to upgrade Navalea or Laia right now to level 4. And we'll take this fight, get rid of these bad cards from Malukah and Andrin. We 100% don't want either Love Enhancer or Vaccine in Malukah's deck. And once again, we're basically executing the level 3 game plan at the moment. So we have this Love Enhancer. We're obviously just putting this in to get rid of it straight away. One thing I will mention is we can Fanaticism early on. And so even though, like I said, Dimensional Crystal has carried us, you can get away. If we'd had an Evasion Armor, we would have been fine too with Fanaticism. These Fanaticisms have basically been dead cards up until now, but that's another way to Unholy Storm twice, is get a Fanaticism in. We'll Demonic Tutor the Condemnation, apply some Decay, and finish these guys off. Perfect. Okay, here I'm not going to take anything on these characters, but I will take this Meditate on Malukah, and we will be changing this to a blue once we get to an altar or into Act 4. For card remove, we don't need this Repair Armor anymore, and I don't think we need this Sharpen anymore either. On Navalea, again, don't need Sharpen, and probably don't need this Piercing Howl. We have so much Vulnerable from Andrin, so I don't think we'll need this either. On Andrin, we can get rid of this Riposte that we put into the deck, and this Captivating Voice, I don't think we need this anymore either. And then on Malukah, we'll get rid of the Love Enhancer, and Shadow Flame has been very underwhelming for me, so I'm going to get rid of this. I think it was a good experiment, but not super strong in my opinion. Okay, and then you can see we're now at Bastet Statue, and Navalea has this interaction here where you can corrupt cards. So this is the altar. You can do 3, and you can obviously invest to increase the chance, the 70% chance it gets worse with each subsequent corruption. But what you can do is you can kind of use the game mechanics to your advantage. So here for Navalea, I'm going to definitely corrupt Expected Prophecy. This is just ridiculous. 0 cost. Draw 4, put 1 back. On Malukah, I'm going to be upgrading Expected Prophecy and Expected Prophecy for the same reason. Just gives us so much gas to get through the deck, especially once we shuffle some recurring nightmares into the deck from Navalea. Because on Navalea, we'll be corrupting Book of Nightmares to shuffle 2 recurring nightmares into Malukah's deck. So Malukah will need decent card draw to get through that, and Expected Prophecy is going to give us that. You can see it's 300 shards per upgrade. We have 1700. So those are the cards that I plan to upgrade, those 4. It's going to cost us 1200 shards. And you can see this 70% chance. It might not always work. So we get it with Malukah here. We get it here. Let's go to Navalea. We failed. So this turns into a void memory. So what you can do is you can actually just click the door in the top right, like this. And this is truly random. So I'm going to go back into the, back in, you can see that we're just before the statue. So I can go back into the statue, take it again, and we can try it again. And it really is random. So look, I failed this time on Malukah. So you can exit out, go back into the game. I know, it's dirty. It's not in the spirit of the roguelike nature of the game. But I'm trying to min-max here, so you'll forgive me this time. And we can just keep going until, okay, we'll go out. So instead of you watching me do this over and over, I'm going to exit and rejoin until I get all 4 of them successfully without having to invest any points, and then I'll reload into the game once we're through it. We corrupted all our cards. It took about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll level up Navalea for Defiled Legacy. We'll keep Laia at level 3 for now. Don't need Heavenly Justice unless it's Thorns Proliferation. Nope. Not Thorns Proliferation, Heavy Weaponry. And we'll take a look at a shop. Alright, so Heavy Weaponry, you can see the Bone Archer is immune to Vulnerable. He starts at 70 Shadow Resist here. So we'll trace. I think we can get rid of Uproot, Chant of Initiative, because Uproot's pretty much useless. We'll draw. Looking for Wild Hunt. Okay, there it is. That's one at least. We can trace Laia. I think we get rid of these 3. Keep Helping Hand and Delay Response. And we'll draw. Don't need Uproot. Draw again. Just one procking Wild Hunt a couple of times. Put this Uproot back, and we're just taking the energy expensive cards to get our full Wild Hunt procs. Throw a few cursed cards out there. Navalea, we don't need this book of the Scroll of Speed. I don't think we need the Battle Plan, the second one either. Now that we're level 4, very, very strong. So you'll see we'll bookworm out Scroll of Intellect, and we'll bookworm out Scroll of Speed to thin the deck, as well as a Curse of Torment. Shove that in the discard pile. Now we can draw, hopefully. Okay, perfect. We drew into Cold Snap. We'll give Transmission to Laia, play a Defiled Legacy, give some Energize to, some Inspire to Malukah. Now we can pull out Curse of Torment, and we could either choose to proc Defiled Legacy twice because we have Dimensional Crystal, but because Scourge doesn't stack yet, I am just going to proc this once by playing 2 energy. And we'll shove this on the Bone Archer again. And now, minus 17 without Vulnerable. That's very, very impressive. And Scourge doesn't even stack yet either. Okay, so we'll start with drawing and putting the Divine Power back. We can Grinding Will Malukah. We'll delay Helping Hand Malukah as well. Demonic Tutor out the Divine Power. Blood Rage. It's unbelievable stuff. Helping Hand and Fortune Telling. Don't need these Fanaticisms, I don't think. Don't need the Malediction, because they're immune. And we proc. Help me. Endless Bag. Unbelievable. Okay, so now pass turn to Malukah. And we will get a Unholy Storm out the deck, and we could probably just fade into the Unholy Storm. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Copy it again. Amazing. Now, with Navalea, it is rough that you lose out on the 4 energy from Magic Duality. This is obviously incredibly good, getting 4 energy. But the resist reduction is really, really strong too. So we won't take any of this. We will, however, take a Death's Reach on Malukah. And this is because in the very, very late game against the final 2 bosses, we can get a free card with Demonic Tutor. Unholy Storm is not as strong against the final 2 bosses to Demonic Tutor as Death's Reach. We're spending the rest of our energy on these Recurring Nightmares against the final bosses. So this is a fantastic candidate to Demonic Tutor. So I'm definitely going to take this on Malukah. Okay. So the way to counteract the 4 energy loss from Duality is obviously just to rip a Sapphire Ring in a shop. So 100% will be buying this Corrupted Sapphire Ring. That is unbelievable. And keep moving here. So here, I do not want the boon from... this gives you a boon, which I do not want. So I'll take this one instead. Here, I don't need the boon. We'll come across. For now, look, I don't need the Holy Blob. I'm not going to sacrifice any of our amazing potion slots. So we'll just leave, not waste our time. And typically on the high score path, you are meant to fight Bastet. I'm not going to do it. I have PTSD from my most recent Bastet fight, so I'm just going to leave this. The answer to this question is Fred. So we'll answer correctly. And we've been waiting for this. We actually get Durandal on Laia, which is an amazing item because it's going to give us sharp charges for our grinding wheel. Other than that, we're not going to take anything here. Okay, we'll head up. And we'll take a free upgrade. Okay, we're up against Noxious Parasites, so plus 45% shadow resist. It's already messing with Andrin's hand. And you can see, despite 3 vulnerable, Graham here has 95% shadow resist still after 3 vulnerable. And the same with the Reaper, still on 95% resistances of the damage type that we're doing. So if we were, again, just reiterating, if we were speccing duality with Navalea, we would really struggle here with Malukah getting through these 2. So let's see how we do instead with the Scourge plans. So we'll draw with Sprint. I know there's a Sprint on top of the deck because it's an 8, and we drew the silly Parasite instead. Don't need this Chant of Initiative, I don't think. Same plan as before, we'll keep drawing. Keep drawing. Okay, perfect. We'll get this Wild Hunt. Pull out the setup here. We'll draw again. And we don't need this second Adrenaline because we can Adrenaline. Uproot. Uproot. Get them up to full vulnerable. On Navalea, we'll get rid of this hatch. I don't think we actually need both of these battle plans, so we'll keep everything else here. And we'll trace Laia, getting rid of Scry, I think is fine. We'll keep everything else. Okay. So we'll start again with getting the Curse of Torment out of the deck. Same with our other books, and we'll get the full freezing ink value. Give the energy to Laia. Defiled Legacy. We can give the Inspire to Laia for the Inspire draws 2. We'll give some to Malukah, and we'll Cold Snap out the Curse of Torment, and we'll Curse of Torment Graham. Okay, incredible, incredible stuff. Okay, so now he was at plus 95%. He's at minus 59. That's so crazy. Oh my god, it's amazing. We'll make him more slow. Oh, that's annoying. We can delay Helping Hand Malukah. Or Grinding Wheel. It's damage neutral, so we'll just overcharge it. Blood Rage. Fortune Telling Malukah. I don't think we need... I'm just going to get rid of all this and draw into the next Unholy Storm. We'll do this and proc. Endless Bag. So ridiculous. Get an Innovate. Oh my god, we're drawing 4 more cards. Expected Prophecy, we can scry. Get rid of this nasty hatch. Condemnation. We can get rid of all this apart from Expected Prophecy. And we'll go up to 5 Inspire. Pass the turn to Malukah. Ridiculous. Oh my god, there's so much damage just from the pet and the Dryad Mask. So I think we can just safely Fade and Unholy Storm without doing anything else. Yeah, that's so crazy. Very good stuff. Okay, so here, not going to take any of this. We're pretty much all set, to be honest. We'll do our free upgrades. I guess we'll do a Helping Hand. A Helping Hand is, again, Malukah. We can do a Bad Augury now. There's nothing else. And Andrin, we're all upgraded, so don't need to do anything here. And we'll take on the final boss. I think we'll pray to Bastet for our victory and see how we go. Okay, up against old Morty. And he has 92% shadow resist. So, but I think you know what's coming by now. Okay, we can ditch the chant. And we'll draw. Draw. Keep on drawing. Get our Wild Hunt up. Scavenge back. Keep on drawing. Trace Laia, I think. Don't need those. Okay, so we do not need the battle plans, I don't think. We could probably get away without those. Yeah, let's try like this. And as per usual, we'll dig cards out of the deck to thin it. We'll draw a couple of times, giving the energy to Laia for overchargeable divine power. Transmission Laia for the Inspired draws 2. Rock our Freezing Ink. Get back this Curse of Torment. And I don't think we need Book of Nightmares. We're saving these again for the final bosses. Well, more than enough damage to get rid of Mortis. And we'll do a big Curse of Torment. And another one. Okay, so what's he at now? Minus 86. That's without Scourge stacking at the moment. It's absolutely bonkers. Okay, we will pass turn. Innovate. Riding Wheel. Let's take a peek on top of Malukah's deck. I'm actually going to get rid of all this because I would like to make Death's Reach free with Demonic Tutor. So I'm just gonna I'll keep Fade actually. Get rid of everything else. Yeah, so now Malukah's deck is like 8 cards. Draw. Proc. Let's get this up crazy. Yeah, something like that looks good to me. Okay, passing turn. Front Skelly is nearly dead. And now we can draw a couple. We'll put an Unholy Storm back. We'll Demonic Tutor our Death's Reach. Gonna fade Death's Reach. 1,000 damage to him and copy the Death's Reach. And this should be, yeah, that's more than enough. Very nice. Shadow Resistant boss down. Okay, so nothing on these. I don't think we need Battle Plan on Laia. It's too much energy. We're going to draw through Laia's deck anyway. We'll take this Enrage though on Nav. We can finally upgrade Laia. Didn't need that before. And none of this. Architect's Ring is just not as good. It's just too inconsistent. The randomness of it. So I'll keep everything here. Don't need any of this stuff. The items from this boss are disappointingly bad. That's something they could tweak maybe. And we'll head to Act 4. See you there. Okay, here we are in Act 4 town, about to head out. And because we corrupted all those cards in Ulumin, we were pretty shard poor. We came in with about 1,200 shards into Act 4. So the only changes that I made was to buy an Enrage on Laia, which is quite expensive. I bought a Slice upgraded on Andrin. This is going to help us apply a lot of mark on the final bosses, up to 50 if possible. And then on Malukah, I have an extra Fade to proceed either an Unholy Storm for the hallway fights and Death's Reach against the final bosses. So that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I took out a couple of cards from each character's deck. So here's Laia's 16. We're at a lean 15 with Navalea. Malukah, in hindsight, I should have taken out this Fanaticism. The goal with Malukah is eventually to get down to 15, 16 cards for the final 2 bosses. Fanaticism, should have taken it out. Don't have Evasion Armor, it's a dead card. And here's Andrin 16. So with that in mind, what we are going to do is skip ahead up to the Ancient Library where we hit level 5. I'll show you this fight at the ruins, and then of course the twins. See you there shortly. And here we are. The only thing that's changed is we found an extra Meditate on Malukah. Otherwise everything's the same as when we left the town. We come here, we take our time, get so much XP to level up to level 5. And Laia, doesn't really matter what we're doing here. I'll just take Beacon of Light. Navalea, though, Unholy Blight will let Scourge stack, so the resist reduction is going to be insane. Malukah, we're of course going Shadow Form, all damage done plus 30%. And Andrin, Mark for Death. So we will take this fight here for some resources against Sub-Zero. And let's look at our level 5 performance. Okay, they're immune to slow because of Sub-Zero. The gunner is very fast, so we're going to have to find a chant of initiative to speed up Navalea here. I'm going to do this because we can draw into a scavenge. Perfect. Okay, we can put a setup into the discard pile. We'll pull it back out. And then we'll draw. Put back this adrenaline, don't need it. So here we go, we can chant Navalea ahead of gunner. And we'll throw these cursed cards on Alexander up the front. Uproot. Now, Navalea, I don't think we need battle plan and transmission. I think we can actually draw through the entire deck if we get rid of those. So let's see. I'm keeping the Scrolls of Speed for obvious reasons. I need to speed up Malukah. And we need to proc Freezing Ink a couple of times. So we'll Scroll of Speed. Scroll of Speed. We'll pull out a Curse of Torment from the deck, discard it. Perfect. Transmission to give the Inspire to Laia. And look, we're going to draw through the entire deck. Very nice. So we'll Helping Hand Malukah. Cold Snap back the Curse. And now because we're level 5, Scourge stacks. So instead of just doing this all the way to the full max 7, we're going to actually reduce it by 1 to 6. And this is going to proc Defiled Legacy. And because we have 1 energy left over, we'll get a second proc on Defiled Legacy. I'll cast it on the Dark Lancer here. And we have to cast energy for Defiled Legacy to proc. And there you go. 22 Scourge. So the resistance is now, because of Aura of Despair, the resistance is now minus 95 from a base of 78. Of Shadow, minus 95, minus 95, minus 95. So absolutely crazy, crazy resist reduction from Navalea. Okay, so we will detox, delay, or bluff first. Delay. Let's see what we're drawing. Okay, that's pretty good. It's so insane. We will enrage. Draw a few cards. We're going to put the Divine Power back so that we can Demonic Tutor it back out of the deck. Like this. Grinding Wheel. This is so crazy. Blood Rage. Innovate. Divine Power. Fortune Telling. Yeah, we're going to absolutely destroy these guys. I mean, I don't think it really matters what we take here. And we draw from our endless bag to get Malukah up to 5 Inspire. Bonkers. And I think we can just fade Unholy Storm, should do it. Just 1 proc. Oh my god. We'll take this Enrage. I don't think we need a second Book of Nightmares. I will take this Equivalent Exchange though, just in case we have excess. We're not going to have excess energy, but we can upgrade this just to give 1 extra energy to a character. And yeah, I think we'll move on to the twins here. And let's see how we go against these guys. All right. Don't need the Chant of Initiative. Gonna ditch that. Wild Hunt. Slice is free because of momentum. Expert Tracker Nav. Don't think we need the battle plan. Also don't think we need the Scroll of Speed for speed control against these guys. And we'll trace Laia. I think we can ditch Heavenly Justice here and bluff. Perfect. Pass the turn. Bear in mind, we've already got Dusk's Shadow Resist to 46% from a base of 66. Okay, so we'll dig the books out. I don't think we need to do Book of Nightmares. That's really for the final 2 bosses, the Book of Nightmares. We'll kill these guys the conventional way. Legacy. Bring back our Curse of Torment here. Transmission Laia, Helping Hand Malukah. And we will do this on Dusk because he's more shadow resistant, saving 1 energy instead of the full 6. We're going to do 5, so we can proc Defiled Legacy again. And we'll do another one. Okay, minus 95 shadow resist, minus 95 shadow resist. That's nuts. Alright, we'll start with a detox and a delay. We can just pump a lot of energy into Grinding Wheel here. We'll start with the Demonic Tutor, I think. Yeah, getting the Divine Power for free. Oh my god, this is so nuts. Oh my god. Okay, so then we'll full Divine Power for 10 energy. We can Blood Rage, Innovate. That's Expected Prophecy as well. Oh my god, this is insane. So we can Helping Hand, Lay on Pause, Fortune Telling Malukah. I don't think we need Malediction. Yeah, I don't think we need that either. We'll draw because of the Endless Bag. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, end the turn. We've already done like 900 damage to Dawn. We'll dig out the Unholy Storm from the deck, and I think just start with Fade Unholy Storm, and then one more Unholy Storm. Amazing. Alright, we're cruising, and I'll never say no to an Enrage. Not going to take any of this. Interesting. Funnily enough, Mirror of Cassandra here, I think Endless Bag is better on Laia, I think. I think we don't want Mirror on Navalea or Malukah, because Dimensional Crystals functionally mirror, but we get to choose which card we want to copy, which is the spells. So I actually don't think that I'm going to take Mirror here. Maybe it's close on Laia, but I think the card draw is just better. Yeah, it's touch and go. We will corrupt Warrior Code, however, so we'll have more than enough vulnerable. And what I'm going to do is skip the bottom path here and then rejoin the campsite to go over the final decks and then the final bosses. And here we are heading into the final bosses with a lean 15 on Laia. Took out the Detoxify, the Heavenly Justice, don't need those anymore. On Navalea, I took out the Scrolls of Speed, and along the way I did find another Book of Nightmares, so I thought, you know, I'll put it in. We didn't need those Scrolls of Speed, so I replaced one of them with the Book of Nightmares instead. Also took out the second transmission, now that we have this equivalent exchange. Didn't need that anymore. We're obviously keeping the corrupted version because it's excellent. Malukah, we're at a lean 15 with the boon as well to make it 16. I took out one bad Augury. I did leave in one Unholy Storm just for this hallway fight, but we're not going to be using the Unholy Storm against the final bosses. I just kept it in for this fight down here. And the deck is amazing. We have Corrupted Demonic Tutor, double Corrupted Expected Prophecy from our Bastet statue. We're going to be Demonic Tutoring out Death's Reach, duplicating it with Dimensional Crystal, preceding both of those with a Fade. It's going to do a ton of damage. And we're also going to be shuffling Recurring Nightmare into Malukah's deck. Again, preceding those with a Fade if we can. Yeah, it's going to be so much damage. Andrin, it could have been a lean 15 as my mistake. I think either getting rid of a Chant of Initiative or an Uproot is probably fine, but he has so much deck manipulation and card draw anyway that it's not a huge deal that he's at 16. But the perfectionist in me would have wanted to make this 15. That's my mistake. So let's go into the final bosses and see how we do. Okay, so we're looking for Wild Hunt. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of all these three at the top and just draw through the deck, trying to find Wild Hunt. We do not, so I'm going to keep drawing. Holding onto the slice until we actually get the Wild Hunt. And there it is. Okay. So we'll Wild Hunt, we'll slice, we'll Draw. Yeah, that's fine. We can uproot Trace just for to use energy to proc Wild Hunt. And we'll expert track Navalea. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the bookworms in Navalea's deck are now yellow, not blue. I'm trying to get discounts of Book of Nightmares from these, so that's why they're yellow, not blue, and they're not innate anymore. Speaking of Book of Nightmares, I'm honestly not sure. I know I spoke about this yellow one. I'm not sure that I actually need it, so I think I'm gonna get rid of that and Battle Plan as well. Thinking about it, yeah, I'm probably absolutely fine with this. Trace Laia, get rid of Scry and Bluff, and with Navalea we should be able to draw through the entire deck here. We'll start by pulling out the Curse of Torment, proc Freezing Ink. We can Enrage. What have we got in the deck here? We have Book of Nightmares, another Bookworm, Scroll of Intellect. We'll Enrage again. Okay, now I can Bookworm out the Book of Nightmares for a discount. Scroll. We will Transmission Laia. We'll draw again. Don't need this other Bookworm. It's dead card at the moment. We can Book of Nightmares Malukah, just like we said. And then we'll pull out the Curse of Torment. We'll do this all the way. And we'll do another one, Proccing Defiled Legacy a second time. Up to 28 Scourge. So ridiculous. I think I'll equivalent exchange Laia to full energy. Lord Handshake is on -95 Shadow Resist, as you probably guessed. Very high base. We'll lay on pause Malukah. I think I will draw. Yeah, put Divine Power back. We can Demonic Tutor. Well, actually, we've done Demonic Tutor for free. So we'll start with Helping Hand and Innovate, proc our discounts. Grinding Wheel. Demonic Tutor, Divine Power for free. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. We have more energy than we can actually spend, I think. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so we'll delay response first. Helping Hand. Divine Power. We have spare energy. This is bonkers. Take a look at the top. I think we can get rid of Bad Augury, Flash Heal. And we are ready to rock and roll. We haven't even procced our Endless back. This is so crazy. Oh my god. Okay, Death's Reach is somewhere in the deck, so I can Demonic Tutor that out. It becomes free. We're going to double it with Dimensional Crystal. And Handshook is at 44 Scourge. That means 440 plus damage on Dark Explosion. And of course, still -95 resist. That is absolutely bonkers. So I think just one fade. We can obviously draw through our entire deck here, go back up to full energy with 2 Corrupted Expected Prophecies and a Bad Augury still in the deck. But I think just one fade and a Recurring Nightmare should be more than enough. Okay, on to Archon. And in the spirit of expediency, I'm skipping to the pop-off turn. You know the drill, you know the setup by now. We'll draw with Meditate. We'll draw with Meditate up to 10 energy. We'll Demonic Tutor our Death's Reach, just like before. We'll double it. Doing 400 Dark Explosion damage. And now his resists are -95 everywhere. Crazy resist reduction with Navalea. Sure, we'll Meditate again. And we can fade Recurring Nightmare. Probably do like 6,000 damage, something like that. Yeah, close to. We'll draw. We'll draw again. Put this fade back. And we'll fade another Recurring Nightmare. And yeah, more than enough damage. Awesome. And so there you have Malukah carry. Like I said at the start of the video, Malukah is my least favorite character to carry with. I also think she's the weakest carry, particularly in a high scoring context. You kind of have to high roll in terms of items, in terms of cards, in terms of corruptors. She's just not as consistent, particularly in the early game, as some of the other carries in the game. But if you're curious how I managed to get through a high score run with Malukah carry. This is a good example of how I would do it. And I think the interesting thing here is the way we played Navalea as a support. Normally with elemental comps that don't struggle to get to minus 95% resist, like Chill or Burn. With Burn, it's so easy to get them to minus 95% resist. But with Shadow, with Pierce, and with slashing damage, it's a lot harder to get the enemies to very, very, very low resistances. So the trade-off of not using duality on Navalea's level 3 and instead specking on the right-hand side, going with Scourge, reducing resistances, and Scourge stacking with Unholy Blight is a really interesting trade-off. And I'd be curious, I think for Shadow, this is strictly better. I think for Pierce and slashing, I'd be curious what you guys think if you play Navalea in this capacity as a support. Is it better to go duality or despair? I'm tempted to say despair. The resist reduction in the late game is very, very good. So yeah, that's Malukah carry, and thank you for watching. Good luck on your Across the Obelisk runs, and may your Jade Scarabs be bountiful.